What up, homies of the internet? This is lugnuts.guapo coming at you from Longhorn Harley-Davidson. And before we get crack-a-lacking, go ahead and check me out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of stuff at lugnuts.guapo. So there you go, fastest way to get a hold of me. And here we go. LowRider S, the holy grail of Dynas. Now this one has a stage 1, has a heavy breather, Banks and Hines pipes and breather, and got a lot of cool stuff. Got some flush turn signals on the license plate and on the forks, wraparound forks. So that is pretty cool. Like how they trimmed it down. Some Harley grips, license plate, sissy bar. I love this setup. This is pretty much what I would do if I had one. And I might change the seat, but that's about it. So let's get crack-a-lacking, homies. This bike needs little introduction. Woohoo! There you go, got the T-bars. It's comfortable. I would say this, those pipes, they sound awesome. Now, I would have known them. Why? Because their location is just like, if you have passenger, it's horrible for them, and they're just, I don't know, their location is not the greatest. But other than that, listen to that. Oh man, these T-bars are incredibly comfortable. Now, LowRider S, what to say about it? What is there not to say about it? Man, this bike, when I first started working for a Harley dealership, this was sitting on the floor. I didn't really know much about Harley to begin with, and this was the bike that I was drawn to. Not this particular bike, but the LowRider S, stock, sitting on the showroom floor. Oh man, I just thought it was the sexiest thing I've ever seen. Real sexy. And then I got to ride it and I was like, holy smokes! This bike is fun! This bike is everything that people say it is. That people think it is. Except for the fact that it might be like a 120R or whatever. I've heard that. I've heard some feelings before. Because I did a video on a 120R. And duh, it's a 120R, so it's gonna win. Not only that, it's a 120R with upgraded racing parts. So I'm sorry to all of you that got upset about that, so that it was not fair. I had someone say that they had a 117 LowRider S and that they would smoke that 120R. I have several texts that could tell you otherwise. But nonetheless, other than that, this bike is everything that people say it is. It rides great, it feels great, it has all the power that you need. Woohoo! Yeah, baby! Oh man, how exciting this thing is mind-numbing. It's just an ecstasy of emotions, man. That sound. Oh, in Jeremy Clarkson's famous words, power! Oh man, what's crazy is So 2-year production, right? You can get 2016 or 2017. So there's not many out there. And when you do find them, people want like $5 grand over what they went new. It's ridiculous. Or is it? So here's the thing. Limited production, 2 years. I mean, really, all the components, they'll be around for a long, long time. The Screaming Eagle 110, some motor that's been around for 10 plus years, give or take. Might be a little off on that statistic or fact. And I mean, there's just a plethora of aftermarket parts that you can get for these things. So I predict that here 10 to 20 years, the price is not going to drop much on these. Oh man, it's crazy because the 120R that I rode and did a video on a couple weeks ago, woo, it's the sound of the police. I don't even know how fast I'm going because I covered my speedo. Ay, ay, ay. That's what I get. That's like what I get for being too excited. Oh, she's not moving. Oh, that's the last thing I need is another ticket. Man, that's just the worst feeling. And so I covered the speedo because I just don't like people knowing how fast I'm going. Because, you know, you can kind of gauge it. But because I wasn't paying attention, in my stupidity, I missed that the cop was there. Right before a construction zone, nonetheless. Oh, anywho, I'm ready to get on the highway with this thing because this is an exciting machine. The exciting machine! Oh, jeez. Anywho, I digress. The 120R that I rode a couple weeks back, almost, I think like a month back actually, that bike is exciting in its own way. This 110 is exciting in just in its own way as well. This motor has a completely different personality than the 120R. The 120R, it's so fast, it's scary. I don't think at any point while I was racing Blake and his LowRider S, at no point did I ever give that thing full throttle. I didn't. And I just smoked him so bad. Now, I get it, not fair, completely different motor sizes. But that whole video was just to show how crazy that thing is. And then, again, I didn't give it full throttle, so now the Screaming Eagle 110 with his pipes, oh, this is just so exciting. And people don't understand. It's like, why would you pay like an extra couple grand for this? A Dyna frame with a 110 and a LowRider format, meaning just the wheelbase, everything about LowRider is performance oriented. Let's see if we can open it up here in a little bit. There's just so much traffic, man. It really is annoying. Wiggly, wiggly, wiggle. Yikes. Oh, let's go north. Open the floodgates! Ah! Yes! Baby! Oh, man. That is the best kind of wind therapy right there. This motor makes the right noises, makes the right power and the right torque at the right time. There is nothing like a LowRider S. You can say, well, the Fat Bob is better, it handles better, it has a, you know, the 107 or 114. Yeah, but it isn't a LowRider S. You can't replace this bike. Let's see if I can get some space between me and these peeps. Oh man, there's just not enough plate with this thing. Oh man, I'm telling you, there is something about this bike. It's not just, oh, it's a LowRider S, duh son, it's blacked out, it has everything, it has a 110. Yeah, if you put a 107 on this frame, it just wouldn't be the same. There's something about a twin cam, the vibration, the way that it responds, the personality that it has. It's unparalleled to any other Dyna. And yes, I'm not stupid. There's a lot of other Dynas that have 110, but this is so sinister. You see a LowRider S, and you can't really compare it to any other bike. You just can't. Not even to another Dyna. There's something, the spirit of this bike is just so alive and just wants to rip your face off. When I rode the 110 for the first time, this LowRider S for the first time, not this one, but you know, when they first came out, I couldn't believe the power. Yeah! Woo! Oh my gosh, this thing is so quick. Get your heart pumping, man. Woo! That's like a shot of adrenaline. Now, for all the sport bike riders, I get it. It's not a sport bike, it's not an inline motor. It doesn't rev anything like an inline motor. I get it. It's a completely different bike. Like, if you're on a sport bike, it's like you're Speedy Gonzalez, man, you're just hauling asphalt all the way. This thing is eating the pavement as it's hauling asphalt. It might not be as fast as your sport bike, but it is not nearly as exciting as this. People sometimes don't understand that concept. Sometimes faster doesn't mean it doesn't equal exciting. Take for example, if you're talking about cars, if you go to get on a McLaren, a P40, yeah, it's sure it's fast, it's exciting, but it's so precise. It's like it was meant to be, not meant to be, but it came out of a laboratory. You know? This thing is like some shed in the backwoods. Oh. This bike will live in infamy forever. Yeah! This is the worst video ever. It's just me screaming. Oh, I had the time of my life, man. Anytime I get on a LowRider S, you know, it's bound to be a good time. Oh, it's always a good time. Oh, man, I really don't know what else to say about this thing. If you've ridden a LowRider S, you know what I mean. You understand what this bike is about. You understand that this bike is not just bar hopping and stoplight to stoplight. This bike is way more than that. This bike is an animal. This bike is an animal. It's like when you see yeah, my gosh, it's so instant power. It's like seeing a lady dressed professionally. You're like, oh, she seems like a nice person. Next thing you know, she rips off her clothes and she's a UFC fighter, tatted up all the way, and will rip your face off in an instant. You're like, holy crap, I didn't know that was there. Oh, that's what this is. This is that person that you're like, she seems nice, dresses nice, but there's something about her. And next thing you know, man, MMA champ right here. Oh, I need to put this thing back, unfortunately. But anywho, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Yep. In the meantime, get on your Harley and get some wind therapy. Later. As usual, just not enough time to ride these things.